Hello, good morning everyone. Welcome to Wood Structure Identification, Module 3, Wood in relation to moisture. This is continuation of our lecture series, Workforce FPU1. In this module, we will be focusing on discussing about computation in wood in relation to moisture. Our module title is Wood in relation to moisture. So the description of this module, it includes the analysis of moisture present in wood through understanding of the wood's moisture content, density, shrinkage, and swelling. So there are three main topics that we will be discussing in Module 3, which includes wood's moisture content, wood density, and wood in relation to shrinkage and swelling. So the purpose of this module is for the students to be able to apply theoretical formulas in quantifying and solving moisture present in wood, as well as how moisture affects wood density, shrinkage, and swelling, which are very important physical properties of wood. So you have here in your module guide. So the outcomes, or module outcomes for module 3 is to analyze and solve problems in relation to wood moisture content, analyze and solve problems in relation to wood density, analyze and solve problems in relation to wood shrinkage and swelling. So what are the requirements at the end of this module? Students will be able to analyze and solve problem sets. So I will be giving you for each lesson moisture content, density, and shrinkage and swelling. You will be given problem sets that you need to compute and submit to me before final exam. So I hope you already did answer your module pretest. And we continue with our lesson number 1. So this is our learning plan for lesson number 1, which is moisture content determination. So at the end of this lesson, students should be able to analyze and solve problems in relation to moisture content. So observe a piece of freshly cut lumber. When you try to lift a freshly cut piece of lumber, it's more or less heavy. Once you let it dry out in the sun, when you lift it again, it tends to be much lighter compared to when it's freshly cut. Why? Because wood, freshly cut wood, remember that the wood is the ciliary portion of the stem. This is the water conducting tissue. Wood is a water conducting tissue of your trees. That's why when you freshly cut your timber, it tends to be heavier as it contains moisture. And when you let it dry, moisture escapes, goes out from the wood, becomes lighter. So in this topic, we will be discussing how moisture content affects the physical properties of wood and its anatomical structure. So as an introductory part, we have the physical nature of wood. Puts one at the advantage in selecting materials for different possible intended uses. So for different kinds of wood, there is specific kind of use that you can do with that particular species. Like there are certain species of wood that is used for construction purposes. There are pieces of wood that is best used for furniture. There are certain pieces of wood that is best used in sculpture. Why? Because they have different physical properties or anatomical properties of wood that is inherent for each different species. Now, in general, all physical properties of wood are determined by the 5 factors inherent in its structural composition. So what are these? One is the amount of water present in wood. As wood is full of water, it is the xylem of the tree. Second, the amount of cellulose substance, which here deals about density, the amount of cellulose substance present in a given volume of wood. So unsa kada mool ang iyang mga cellulose materials. That is why there are certain tree species like kamurawon or mulave which tend to be highly dense because there are many cellulose components compact in a given piece of wood compared nimo sa kapok, which is very light as these cellulose materials are loosely arranged with each other and is full of air spaces. Number 3, the proportionate composition of the primary components of the cell wall. So what are the primary components of the cell wall? Again, as a review, we have the cellulose, hemicellulose, and lignin. Their additional components of the cell wall is called extractives. So example of extractives are your resin, of your gums, or kanang mga duga na ikawa sa inyong mga kahoy. Number 4, the arrangement and orientation of the wall materials. So we have different arrangement of wall materials in the wood. We have the spiral grain, one natin mga grano sa kahoy. We have the spiral grain, the parallel grain, etc. And of course, lastly, it's the kind, size, proportion, and arrangement of the cells, making up the woody tissue. So this influences working. Sabutan ng working after sewing, pag naras ng kahoy, bupiko ang kahoy, while because of the arrangement of the cell wall, as the wood tends to release water from the atmosphere. And it also includes the grain design, the strength of the wood, workability, and finishing properties. So these are the factors that affects the physical properties of wood, not only because the addition of water to the cell wall changes its density. So the first factor, which is the moisture content in wood, it's very important that we understand the nature of moisture inside the wood, as it generally changes the density of wood, its dimension, the plasticity, and the transfer of energy within a piece of wood. The second measure is specific gravity, which we will be talking for our next module, module number 4, specific gravity. Now, the other factors cause large deviations or responses of wood when tested for specific treatments. So we have two major factors that affects the total physical behavior of wood, that is the wood moisture content, which affects density, shrinkage and swelling, and of course the specific gravity of wood, which we will be talking for our next sets of modules. So let's focus on moisture in wood. So when we say wood is a hygroscopic substance, when we say hygroscopic, that is the ability of wood to absorb or lose moisture. Okay, so wood have a tendency to absorb and lose moisture. All wood is a hygroscopic substance, or we have this hygroscopicity in wood. This is the ability of wood to absorb or lose water depending on the temperature and humidity of the surrounding atmosphere. Again, as a review, when we talked about, about temperature. Temperature means high or low temperature. So when temperature is high or init gani, panahon, the tendency of the wood is to lose moisture. This moisture inside the wood evaporates. While when there is low temperature, the tendency of the wood is to absorb water from the atmosphere. And also what we have here, it depends upon the temperature and humidity. Again, what is humidity? Now, humidity is the amount of moisture present in the atmosphere. Moisture present in the atmosphere. So how does this affect wood in relation to moisture content determination? Because imagine even if there is high temperature, and if the humidity is high, or the amount of moisture in the environment, in the atmosphere is high, ang imong water inside sa wood magpuri na pag-evaporate. Why? Because full of moisture naman atmosphere. So it's very crucial ang humidity. Compared to nimo, kung low ang humidity or less lang moisture sa atmosphere, tendency is ang wood mas paspas ang evaporation during the time compared if the atmosphere is low in high. Now, there are 3 basic types of water in wood depending on their site of occurrence. 3 basic types of water in wood. So what are these three basic types? Number one, we have the free water. So the free water. Number two, we have the bound water. Bound or imbibed or hygroscopic water. And number three, we have water of constitution. So, unsa man tulo ka klaseng water? There are three kinds of water inside our wood. So, if you look closely, if we draw, mao ni ang ato nga typical cell wall of your plant. Another cell dire. Sample. Yan ang pagka-arrange. Now, we have what we call free water. Now, free water appears in liquid form and can be found in the cell lumina. So there, kaning space there is a sulod sa imong cell wall. This is what we call the cell lumina. Cell lumina. Dinhi nagtambay ang imong nga free water. Free water can be found inside the cell lumina. It is in liquid form. Then the second is bound or imbibed or hygroscopic water. Are those absorbed in the cell wall materials. Now this is your cell wall. This is your cell wall. And nagtambay ang imong nga bound or imbibed water. Number three is water constitution. This is called the elemental water, which forms part of the chemical structure of the cell wall substance. Now, we already discussed the chemical structure of cellulose, diba? C6, the glucose, which components of cellulose, C6H12O6. This H12, or that is elemental water. Kana nga water constitutes to the chemical structure of the cell wall substances, which includes the cellulose and hemicellulose. Makita. So, in the process of drying, the first one to be removed is imong free water. Diba? Liquid form siya. Tama siya diri sa lumina. So, imong putlo na, mo ni force. Mo ni siya ang pinakadali i-evaporate. So, kung nag-dry ka sa imong wood, unang mugawas, matanggalin mo, pwede rin matanggal ang free water. Ikaduha mo pwede matanggal or maibanan isang imong bound or imbibed water din isa imong cell wall. Okay? How do you think? How can we remove elemental water? Sa yun lang, ang pag-remove sa imong elemental water o imong oxygen sa imong nga kahoy. Simple imong nga in the process of charcoal making or ang paghimo nimo og uring, di ba? Pag nag-uring kita, ang uring through time nagiging black ang color. Ganun nagiging black ang color sa imong uring? It's because you are removing hydrogen and oxygen sa imong charcoal. The basic composition of charcoal is equal to carbon, di ba? That is why carbon is black. As charcoal is the product of the destructive distillation of your wood. Yung tatanggal nimo ang uban nga elemental structure of the cell wall materials, the cellulose and hemicellulose, which is hydrogen and oxygen. During combustion, natatanggal ang imong hydrogen, ang imong oxygen, ang nagpapabilin ang imong carbon. That's why in the end, charcoal nimo turns into black as charcoal becomes carbon. Okay?